The first moments of your morning hold immense power. They set the tone for your emotions, your focus, and ultimately the trajectory of your entire day. Think about it. If you begin in a rush, scrolling through notifications, reacting to messages, and absorbing the world's noise before you've even taken a breath, you are already living in response mode. Your mind is being shaped by forces outside your control before you've had the chance to claim it for yourself. The Stoics understood this well. Figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught that we must begin each day as the masters of our own minds, not the servants of external circumstances. To them, the morning was not merely the start of another cycle of routine. It was a conscious choice to align thoughts, actions, and purpose before stepping into the chaos of the world. By taking ownership of the first hour, you guard your mental fortress against distraction, anxiety, and emotional turbulence. In this guide, we will explore 15 Stoic-inspired morning habits, practical, intentional actions designed to sharpen your mind, strengthen your discipline, and root your day in clarity. These are not abstract ideals. They are tools you can integrate immediately. Master your mornings, and you begin to master your life. 1. Wake up early with purpose. Waking up early is not about joining a productivity trend or proving your discipline to the world. It's about reclaiming quiet, undisturbed time for yourself before the demands of the day begin. In the stillness of the early hours, you create a protected space to set your intentions, gather your thoughts, and prepare your mind for what's ahead. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations that each morning is a new opportunity to live according to virtue. No matter what happened yesterday, the dawn offers a clean slate to act with wisdom, courage, and self-control. This perspective shifts the idea of early rising from a mere lifestyle habit into a deliberate act of self-mastery. The psychological benefits are significant. Rising early gives you a sense of control and autonomy, reducing the feeling of being chased by the day. It allows you to move at your own pace, which lowers stress and increases mental clarity. Physically, it aligns you with natural light cycles, improving sleep quality, hormonal balance, and overall energy. Most importantly, waking early with purpose is about intention, not just time. Even if it's just 30 quiet minutes before the world awakens, you gift yourself the most precious resource, undivided attention for your own growth and alignment before the noise of life begins. 2. Sit in silence before touching your phone. Before your fingers instinctively reach for your phone, give yourself the gift of stillness. The first moments after waking are like soft clay. Your mind is impressionable, and whatever you allow in will shape the tone of your entire day. If the first thing you consume is a rush of notifications, headlines, and social media posts, you're essentially handing over your mental steering wheel to the loudest voices online. The Stoics emphasize the importance of controlling what enters the mind. Epictetus warned that if we fail to guard our attention, we surrender our freedom. By choosing stillness before stimulation, you assert ownership over your mental state. When practiced in the morning, the view from above acts as a mental reset. It reminds you that the day ahead is just one chapter in a much bigger story, giving you the space to respond to challenges with perspective, not panic. From up there, the path forward often looks far simpler. Physiologically, skipping that early dopamine hit from scrolling prevents the brain from starting the day in a reward-chasing mode. Instead, a few minutes of quiet breathing, reflection, or simply watching the light change outside trains the mind toward presence and groundedness. This small act becomes a declaration. I decide what thoughts enter my head first. It's not about rejecting technology, but about ensuring you begin the day as the author of your own mindset, not as a passive consumer of noise. Number 3, practice the view from above. The Stoic exercise known as the view from above invites you to mentally step out of your current perspective and see yourself from a much greater height. First from above your room, then your neighborhood, your city, your country, and eventually from the edge of Earth itself. From this cosmic vantage point, the noise and urgency of daily concerns shrink in scale. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that human lives, even the most celebrated, are but fleeting moments within the vast rhythm of nature. This practice isn't meant to belittle your life, but to place it within its true context. A context where minor frustrations lose their grip and long-term priorities come into focus. Psychologically, this technique eases anxiety by dissolving the illusion that every setback is monumental. It softens the ego, replacing self-importance with a sense of belonging to a larger whole. And with ego quieted, decision-making becomes clearer. You're less reactive, more deliberate, and more patient. When practiced in the morning, the view from above acts as a mental reset. It reminds you that the day ahead is just one chapter in a much bigger story, giving you the space to respond to challenges with perspective, not panic. From up there, the path forward often looks far simpler. 4. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. Gratitude, when practiced deliberately, shifts the mind from a restless state of wanting to a peaceful state of appreciating. Each morning, take a moment to write down 3 things you are genuinely thankful for, whether it's the support of a friend, the comfort of a home-cooked meal, or simply the ability to greet a new day. Seneca spoke of inner sufficiency, the idea that true wealth is not in possessions, but in the ability to be content with what is already present. Epictetus echoed this, urging his students to measure richness not by what they own, but by how little they lack. Gratitude is the practical expression of this Stoic principle. On a psychological level, this simple act redirects attention from scarcity to abundance, from comparison to contentment. It rewires the brain to recognize blessings that would otherwise pass unnoticed, creating a steady emotional foundation. By putting these thoughts into writing, you anchor them in reality, turning fleeting feelings into tangible reminders. Over time, this habit nurtures a resilient form of happiness, one that is not easily shaken by external events, because it grows from the deep well of inner sufficiency the Stoics so often described. 5. Set your intention for the day. Unlike goals, which are about measurable outcomes, an intention is about the quality of mind you bring to your actions. Goals might say, finish the report by 3 p.m. An intention says, approach my work today with clarity and patience. Goals aim for the finish line. Intentions shape the journey. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus reminded his students that while outcomes are often beyond our control, our inner state is always within our grasp. By setting an intention each morning, you precondition your mind to act from purpose rather than impulse, ensuring that no matter what the day throws at you, your actions align with your values. A practical approach. Write one short affirmative sentence at the start of your day. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a compass. For example, today I will respond with calm, not react in haste. I will prioritize depth over speed. I will treat others with dignity regardless of their behavior. The act of writing it down makes it tangible. Repeating it aloud reinforces it. As you move through your day, this statement becomes an anchor, pulling you back to center whenever distractions or frustrations arise. In time, these small daily intentions compound into a deeply intentional life. 6. Reminder of impermanence, memento mori. Memento mori, remember you must die, is not a morbid obsession but a Stoic tool for clarity. Marcus Aurelius reflected daily on life's brevity, not to fall into despair, but to sharpen his focus on what truly matters. When you hold the awareness that your time is finite, petty irritations lose their grip and distractions reveal themselves for what they are, wastes of the precious resource of life. This reminder strips away illusion. You stop postponing meaningful conversations. You stop treating your dreams as something for later. You become present because you recognize that later is never guaranteed. The Stoics believed that a life lived in full awareness of its end is a life lived with urgency. Not frantic haste, but deliberate purpose. You can integrate memento mori each morning by pausing to acknowledge your mortality. This could be a simple reflection. If today were my last, would I be proud of how I am about to live it? Such a mindset prioritizes kindness over ego, integrity over convenience, and presence over distraction. In remembering death, you paradoxically learn how to live more fully. 7. Read or listen to a short philosophical passage. Morning is a sacred window for shaping the mind's trajectory. The Stoics understood that the first inputs of the day set the tone for thought, emotion, and action. That is why starting with a short piece of timeless philosophy, such as a passage from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations or Epictetus' Discourses, can be transformative. In those quiet minutes after waking, your mind is less cluttered, more receptive, and more able to absorb ideas that guide you toward wisdom. Reading even a single paragraph on virtue, resilience, or perspective plants a seed that can influence how you respond to challenges throughout the day. The Stoics treated philosophy not as abstract theory, but as a daily discipline, a mental warm-up for life's demands. This practice works best when approached with depth, not speed. Instead of rushing through several pages, choose a single passage and reflect on it. Ask, what does this mean for me today? How can I live this truth before the sun sets? By doing this, you turn philosophy into a compass, not just a collection of inspiring words. Over time, these small doses of wisdom accumulate, reinforcing a mindset that meets life's uncertainty with calm, strength, and purpose. 8. Deep breathing or meditation for 5 to 10 minutes. Before the noise of the day intrudes, giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes for deep breathing or meditation can reset your entire nervous system. Slow, intentional breaths lower cortisol levels, steady your heart rate, and signal to your body that you are safe. This is not just about relaxation, it is about creating a clear, focused mental state from which all your actions will flow. The Stoics valued this kind of mental readiness. For them, awareness before action was essential. To charge into the day without centering oneself would be like a soldier entering battle without armor. By observing your breath, you anchor your attention to the present moment, creating space between stimulus and response, a space where wisdom can guide you instead of impulse. Even a brief practice can shift your mindset. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4, then exhale slowly for 6 or 8. With each breath, let go of yesterday's residue and tomorrow's anticipation. What remains is the only time you truly own, this moment. When the mind is steady, you are better equipped to meet the day not as a victim of circumstances, but as an active, composed participant in shaping it. 9. Physical exercise. Physical training in the morning is more than just exercise. It is a declaration to yourself that you are willing to face discomfort for the sake of growth. The Stoics saw the body and mind as an inseparable unit. Neglecting one meant weakening the other. Musonius Rufus, often called the Roman Socrates, taught that physical discipline was part of moral discipline. If you cannot endure a few minutes of strain in training, how will you endure the inevitable strains of life? A short workout, be it calisthenics, a brisk walk, yoga, or weight training, immediately elevates your energy levels, sharpens mental clarity, and primes your mood for the day. On a deeper level, it conditions your mind to act despite resistance. You begin to welcome the challenge rather than shrink from it, which mirrors how the Stoics approached adversity. Morning training also teaches rhythm and self-control. You start the day with a victory, however small, proving to yourself that comfort does not control you. Over time, this compounds into resilience, the ability to hold steady when life pushes back. Strength is not just the absence of weakness, it is the daily cultivation of capacity, both physical and mental, to meet the demands of a virtuous and purposeful life. 10. Cold shower or mild discomfort exposure. Cold showers, or any deliberate exposure to mild discomfort, are a modern echo of the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised occasionally dressing plainly, eating simple food, and asking oneself, "Is this what I feared?" The purpose was not self-punishment, but self-liberation, to prove that you can endure what you once thought unbearable. A cold shower shocks the system awake, invigorating circulation and building a resilient nervous system. More importantly, it trains the mind to remain calm under stress. Each time you step into that cold stream, you practice choosing action over avoidance, courage over hesitation. The moment of hesitation before the water hits is a small but powerful test of will. Physiologically, cold exposure can strengthen immunity, boost alertness, and even improve mood through endorphin release. Psychologically, it reminds you that discomfort is temporary and survivable. By integrating small acts of chosen discomfort into your mornings, you inoculate yourself against the larger discomforts life will inevitably impose. You're not waiting to be tested, you are testing yourself daily, forging a habit of courage that will serve you far beyond the bathroom. This is how a Stoic turns the ordinary into training for the extraordinary. 11. Create a priority list. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what truly matters, an idea perfectly captured by the principle of first things first. Each morning, crafting a prioritized to-do list isn't just about productivity. It's about aligning your daily actions with your highest values and goals. When you begin the day overwhelmed by distractions or scattered intentions, your energy becomes fragmented and less effective. Instead, take a moment to identify the most important tasks that will move you closer to your purpose, whether that's cultivating virtue, progressing in your work, or nurturing relationships. This focused approach conserves mental energy and reduces the anxiety that comes from feeling pulled in multiple directions. Epictetus taught that external events are indifferent. What matters is how we respond. Your list of priorities is a tool for deliberate response, a way to maintain control over your time and attention. It's not about doing more, but doing what is essential. By choosing your battles carefully each morning, you prevent the day from slipping away in trivial pursuits. This habit creates momentum, small, meaningful victories that build confidence and reinforce discipline. Over time, the practice of prioritization transforms scattered effort into purposeful progress, a core tenet of living the Stoic life. 12. Control your inner dialogue. Controlling your inner dialogue is a cornerstone of Stoic practice. From the moment you wake, pay close attention to the thoughts that arise. Are they empowering or limiting? Are you judging yourself harshly or encouraging growth? This self-awareness is the first step toward mastering your mind. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This means suffering is not caused directly by external events, but by the interpretations we assign them. By observing your inner monologue, you gain the power to challenge unhelpful thoughts and reframe them in a more constructive light. Starting the day by consciously guiding your self-talk can prevent anxiety, frustration, and self-doubt from taking root. Replace "I can't handle this" with "I will do my best, no matter the outcome." Such shifts strengthen resilience and build emotional equanimity. This practice requires patience and discipline, but over time, it rewires your brain toward positivity and rationality. By setting the tone internally first thing in the morning, you equip yourself to face challenges calmly and intentionally, embodying the Stoic ideal of mental freedom and clarity. 13. Limit negative news and information. In today's world, information flows endlessly. News alerts, social media updates, and sensational headlines constantly vie for your attention. While staying informed is important, the Stoics teach us to protect our inner peace by limiting exposure to negative or distracting information, especially in the morning when the mind is most impressionable. Constant bombardment of distressing news can fuel anxiety, anger, and helplessness, disrupting your mental clarity and emotional balance before the day even begins. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to focus only on what is within his control, and consuming excessive news about external chaos often does the opposite. It feeds uncertainty and agitation. A practical approach is to set boundaries around when and how you consume information. Consider delaying news intake until you have completed your morning routine or limiting it to trusted, concise sources. Ask yourself, do I need this information right now? Will it help me act wisely or calmly today? If the answer is no, defer it. By guarding your mind against unnecessary noise, you preserve a calm foundation. This intentional choice creates mental space for thoughtful action and emotional resilience, allowing you to engage with the world more effectively rather than being swept away by its chaos. 14. Take small actions toward long-term goals. Stoicism teaches that greatness is not born from sudden leaps, but from consistent, deliberate action rooted in virtue and purpose. Each small step you take daily, no matter how insignificant it may seem, accumulates over time, shaping your character and guiding you closer to your long-term goals. By focusing on daily habits aligned with your values, you transform intention into reality. Seneca emphasized that it is not in extraordinary moments, but in routine actions that our true selves are forged. Whether it's dedicating a few minutes to study, practicing patience in conversations, or maintaining physical discipline, these small acts build resilience and momentum. This cumulative effect is powerful. Like drops filling a vessel, daily efforts compound, often unnoticed at first, until suddenly progress becomes visible and unstoppable. The Stoic mindset views each day as a chance to improve, regardless of external recognition or immediate results. By committing to these small, purposeful actions every morning, you harness the energy of consistency and virtue. This steady approach prevents overwhelm, keeps you grounded, and creates a life that reflects your highest ideals, one habit at a time. In this way, mastery over the long term begins with mindful steps taken in the present. 15. Smile and connect. Stoicism is often misunderstood as cold or detached, but at its core, it encourages an active, compassionate engagement with humanity. Starting your day with a genuine smile or a small act of kindness sets a tone of goodwill, not only toward others but toward yourself. This simple gesture reflects the Stoic belief in oikeiosis, the natural affinity and connection we share with all people. By choosing warmth over indifference, you break the illusion that Stoics are unemotional. Instead, you embody a profound love for humanity expressed through intentional, positive actions. A smile, a kind word, or a mindful acknowledgement of someone's presence fosters connection, reduces tension, and cultivates a supportive environment around you. Beginning your morning with such an act is more than politeness. It is a deliberate practice of virtue. It reminds you that your day will be shaped not just by what you achieve, but by how you relate. This openness invites reciprocity and creates a ripple effect, enriching your relationships and emotional well-being. In embracing connection with kindness, the Stoic becomes a source of calm strength and genuine empathy, qualities that empower both personal growth and meaningful interaction throughout the day. Mastering your morning is the foundation for mastering your entire day and ultimately your life. The 15 Stoic-inspired principles outlined here form a comprehensive guide to starting each day with intention, clarity, and resilience. From waking early with purpose to practicing gratitude, controlling your inner dialogue, and embracing discomfort, each habit is a tool for strengthening your mind and aligning your actions with your highest values. These practices aren't abstract philosophies reserved for scholars. They are practical, actionable steps you can integrate immediately to cultivate calmness, focus, and purpose. The morning is your opportunity to set the tone, whether you allow external chaos to dictate your mindset or choose to lead from within. Remember, you don't need to adopt all 15 habits at once. True mastery comes from consistency and gradual growth. Choose one principle to implement tomorrow morning. Maybe it's sitting quietly before reaching for your phone or writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Small intentional changes accumulate over time, creating profound transformation. By owning your mornings, you reclaim control over your thoughts, emotions, and actions throughout the day. In doing so, you embody the Stoic ideal of living not as a passive reactor to life's events, but as an active architect of your destiny. Start tomorrow with one small step and begin the lifelong journey of mastering your mind and your day.